Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride.
Hello, hello. I hope everybody is doing well. Hi, Graham. Let's get this part started, Vicky. Not the party, but the part. Let's do it. Does everybody here have electronic mail? How gray I am. So fucking bad. I don't even care, to be honest with you. Had quite the day. I hope everybody's doing well today. Tell me what you had for dinner. If you didn't like what you had for dinner, tell me what you wish you had for dinner. I haven't had dinner yet. Maybe that's why I'm so cranky. I don't know. I do have fresh coffee. That's a good sign. This is pissing me off. Let's start a video so that I can not worry about it. How about that? I do need a spanking. I do. I need to get fucked.
Is that either one of two things has happened. Either you don't understand how the math works or you're just lying to me. You can all put your hands down.
So do we see how that doesn't work properly when I'm up here? Thanks, StreamYard. Also, Streamlabs should be working again. Okay, that was quite the welcome. Did you walk in right when I said I want to get fucked? Tom, gifting memberships. Do. You rock. Tom rocks. Courtney's on the same page. Can't even think about it. I gotta take myself off the screen for a minute for it to start playing. Stupid computer. Before we get going, though, this is in Judge Webster's court. This was the third case of the day. We're playing them in backwards order. He was in a better mood in the earlier ones, as you'll see later. Ooh, that sounds pretty good. Apple pork chops, rice pilaf, mixed veggies, and baked beans. You thought the spanking part was more sexy than gonna get fucked? Probably. I get it. Okay.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Brown-Zito, this appears to be a motion to modify and a motion to confirm that you filed back in November of 2023.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your case has been called. Do you have any additional witnesses?
No, Your Honor, just those three.
Call your first witness.
This time I would call.
The court will take, I'm sorry, Ms. Brown-Zito, the court will take judicial notice of its own file, which includes the controlling support. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, that says something about you and what you're looking at. You wouldn't want to see what shows up on mine. We did show the whip off the other day.
I would call Miss Limbrick. Will you please state your name?
Nikita Limbrick.
And we're here today to talk about your child, Kelvin. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And who is his father?
Kelvin James Price Sr.
And back in November of 2018, was Mr. Price ordered to pay child support on Kelvin Jr.?
Yes,
And was he also ordered to keep health insurance at that time as well?
yes, ma'am.
And has he, as far as child support, has he gotten just a little bit behind?
Yes, but he always catch up.
Right. Your Honor, at this time, I would offer the pay record in this case as Exhibit A.
I didn't edit this out, but I don't think I have to. I'll tell you why. There isn't really any personal data on these, but I do normally edit them out. I didn't this time, but anyways, I'm changing as well.
Miss Limbrick, I've just placed on the screen a copy of the alleged pay record between you and Mr. Price. Is it okay if I take a look at this pay record?
Yes,
Thank you, ma'am. Same question, Mr. Price. May I look at your pay record?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit A is admitted into evidence.
Now, Ms. Limbrick, have things changed in the last 6 years with Mr. Price? Is he working at a different company?
not that I'm aware of.
But does he seem to be making more money?
I didn't know until now.
Child support back in the court order was ordered at $900 a month. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. Your Honor, I would pass this witness.
Call you next week.
Thank you. This time I will call Mr. Price. Will you please state your name?
Kelvin James Price Sr.
Mr. Price, do you have any other minor children?
No,
And where do you work?
West Rock,
How long have you worked there?
9 years.
Okay. And are you making more money now than you made back in 2018?
Approximately about $3 more.
So how much do you make an hour?
$39.34.
Do you work 40 hours a week?
Remember that number, 3934, 3944. It's an important number later.
We have a 36-hour week and a 48-hour week, so kind of balance out.
Do you work overtime?
Yes, when we were short, I do, but we're fully staffed now, so it's not really any overtime they're giving.
Do you have insurance available for your child?
Yes,
And how much does it cost you for medical insurance for Kelvin Jr.?
it's like 800 and something.
Did you give all of that information to Ms. Veazey?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so she has the exact number.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you also pay for dental insurance, or is that included with the medical?
Dental insurance also.
Do you know how much you pay on that a month?
I think it's 20 or 30 bucks. I think it is
And is that per month or per paycheck?
per month. I think.
Okay. And do you have any other individuals on that?
Bonjour, mes amis, bonjour. Bonjour, mes amis, bonjour. Hi, Erica. Hope you're doing well. This guy makes some good money, you guys. Pretty good money indeed. Even like 39 bucks an hour is really good, right?
Dental insurance, or is it just you and Kelvin Jr.?
It's just me and him. If it was just me, then the company pays for it. But
For
since
your
I have-
dental?
they pay for If it was just me, they would pay for all my medical, dental, and vision.
Okay.
I said to him, then that's what it cost me.
So this cost is exactly what it costs for.
Yeah,
Uh,
yes.
okay. And you gave that information to Miss Veazey as well? Your Honor, I would pass this witness.
Your next witness.
I would call Miss Veazey. Will you please state your name?
Yolanda Vise,
And where do you work?
Office of the Attorney General, Child Support Division.
And how long have you worked there?
5 years come November.
And in the capacity that you work there, do you have the occasion to review wages of our customers?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you do so in this case?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay. And do you have an exact number for how much medical cost Mr. Price for Kelvin Jr.?
Yes, ma'am.
How much?
Mr. Price is paying $856.74 a month for medical insurance for their son.
Okay.
What did she just say? Christopher Engleby, my friend. Yay! Let me hit thank you. How are you feeling? I hope you're doing well. Guys, we need to send healing prayers to Chris. You drove your ass just down to Hollywood just for the meat. Insert that Arby's commercial soundbite here. Thank you again, Chris. Thank you. Good. I'm so glad to hear that. So glad to hear that. Also, who was it? Was it Donald? Donald said that this guy's making almost 80K. We're going to find out it's higher than that. Which good for him, right? Like, good for him. Glad to hear it. Okay. Also, every time I'm on the screen, I press play. It doesn't work properly. It's all jittery, like a jitterbug. And then, anyways, that's a me problem. Oh, wait. Sorry. Last thing we need to talk about. This in my hair. You guys see these clips? Okay. I watched a video recently where this lady said her sister's a nurse and she got in her car and she was like, why do you have like 30 of those clips in the backseat of your car? And she said, because I've had to pull a lot of them out of people's heads after car accidents. So whenever I get in my car, I don't wear it anymore. Neither do we now, ladies. Let that all be a lesson to all of us. We don't wear these when we drive. I didn't know that.
And do you know how much he's paying for dental?
Dental is $29.34.
$29.34? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, do you have wages for at least the last 4 quarters?
Yes, ma'am. For 2023, Mr. Price yearly wages was $138,838.
I'm sorry, what, ma'am? You're going to need to repeat that one again for me. What?
Mr. Price yearly wages was $138,838.
Was that even?
Correct. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And how much do you make in the 4th quarter?
Fourth quarter, he made $35,217.28.
And the 3rd quarter?
$34,926.38.
The 2nd quarter?
$30,558.18.
And how much for the first quarter?
$38,136.84.
And what does that come to a gross monthly average?
Gross monthly, combined together, $11,569 a month.
So in the child support review order,
Mhm.
that was actually reviewed back in October. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Price wasn't served until December, so it should actually start in January, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's my discretion. Mr.
I'm
President.
sorry.
Yes,
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 sir.
Your Honor.
I'm
That's
sorry,
okay,
Judge.
Mr. Beasley.
I was
That's
just
fine.
bringing that to the forefront, Your Honor. And the child support figured in there dealt with a quarter of 22. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, yes, ma'am, it did.
So
Due
that's the
to-
difference between your calculations and the calculations in the child support review order. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I would pass this witness.
Ms. Vida, you got any wage information on Mr. Price for 2022?
Yes, sir, I do.
What's your gross yearly for 2022?
Let me pull that for you really quick. The gross yearly for 2022.
Take your time. I'll make sure it's
Yes,
right.
sir. Yes, sir.
Hiya, April. Hope you're doing well. Reminder, cut this part out in the video.
Gross yearly, Judge, is 112,000.
I think you're here, Hector.
Gross yearly, Judge, is $112,772.20.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Beasley, did Mr. Price provide you with any paycheck stubs for 2024?
What he did provide, I can pull that in for you. I am showing. I'm sorry, just one.
I mean, we're in
second.
April. I don't imagine you've gotten anything from the employer for 2024 yet, right?
No, sir, not as of yet. And he told me that he did not have any current check stubs when I spoke to him on today. But at the time of his conference,
Yeah, but
he
that was last
yes,
year,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're trying to be helpful. That's important. Mr. Price, do you have any current paycheck stubs?
Yes, I actually, while we was waiting to come on, I actually looked on my email and saved some pictures from my check stub.
All right, well, you look at the latest check stub that you have. When you have it in front of you, let me know.
Okay.
Does that paycheck stub have something called the?
Sorry, I'm just trying to, it's frozen up. But that's not my fault. It's StreamYard. Thanks, Chris. You have a wonderful night. Thank you for being here. Oh, damn it.
Okay. This is 410.
So you got a paycheck, hold on, you got a paycheck stub from April the 10th?
Yes, sir.
Does that paycheck stub have something called the year-to-date gross on it?
Yes, sir.
What is the year-to-date gross on your paycheck stub, Mr. Price?
Year to date, total gross is $42,650.79.
He's already made $42,000 this year. Oh my God. That's more than any of his other quarters. That's good money, son. Good job.
Thank you, sir. And there might also be on your check stub that says pay period as of. Does it have one of those on there? Your check was issued on April the 10th, but it's probably for a period of time just prior to that.
This is from, well, it just got the beginning dates and the ending dates.
What's your end date?
The end date is the 7th.
So April the 7th.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Hold on, I got some more questions, but I got to do some math, and if I don't focus on it, I'm old. My mouth will be sideways.
Okay.
All right, so let's see. That's going to be.
There is a hum upcoming, I believe, guys. That's why I left this verbal note. Leave this part in if there's a hum.
All right. Ms. Lambert, you have any questions about this case before I make a ruling?
No, sir.
All right. Mr. Price.
Yes, sir.
This is what I believe. I believe that it's my job to be fair with people. And I believe it's my job to explain stuff to people when they don't quite exactly understand the processes that the Attorney General's office takes. You told me when this hearing started that you make $39.34 an hour. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. You and I both know that you make a lot more money than that.
Well, a lot of it is when I set up into the next job,
Mhm.
you know, I get
Right.
a different pay rate.
Right.
It's normally about I think it's $40 and something cent.
Let
But
me
that's not all the time that
Right.
I
But
spend.
let me
Yeah.
let me see if I can explain something to you, and that might help you with how this kind of works. When I take a look at how I determine what your child support is supposed to be set at, I'm supposed to look at a history of your wages. Okay.
Mhm.
And here's the history of your wages. All right.
You're going to miss a good one. Bye.
Hold on one
kid.
second. So this is the history of your wages, Mr. Price. In 2022, you were netting you were grossing about $9,400 a month. That's what you grossed in 2022. In 2023, your pay jumped up and you were grossing over $13,000 a month. Those are facts. Okay.
That was, yeah,
wait, because you're really not going to like what I'm about to tell you. That's not correct. I misspoke. Your wages in 2023, let's start over. In 2022, your wages were almost $9,400 a month. In 2023, your wages are $11,569 a month. In 2024, Mr. Price, you're making over $13,000 a month. Okay?
That's
So you don't,
because
so you don't make $40 an hour, Mr. Price.
Oh.
You're either making some kind of large bonus at the end of the jobs, or you're making a lot of overtime. One of
No.
those things is happening.
Last year we had a lot of overtime because we were all shorthanded, the whole mill machines and all.
Mr. Price,
So-
that doesn't make any.
So it sounds like it's a mill that he's working in, like a mill. He said it at the beginning, West something or other was the name. And here's the thing. And I believe so. Okay, I kicked that. Sorry. Why does it matter if 9,200's the cut, right? If he was making 9,200 back in the day when the first order was put in, why does it matter if he makes any more now? Because if there's a max for the child support amount, why would any of this matter? That's the question I have. Earthquake. Loud Elvis. Boob enthusiast. This guy, I mean, he seems like he doesn't even realize what's going on, and yet he's making like $13,000 a month. That's nuts. That's nuts. Turtles.
Any sense.
So-
Hold on, wait. No, you don't get to tell me to hold on, Mr. Price. I'm the judge. I get to tell you to hold on.
Yes, sir.
The problem is that either one of two things has happened. Either you don't understand how the math works, or you're just lying to me. I don't want to say that you're. I know you're not lying to me. Yeah, I know.
Absolute flashback to math class right there. I guarantee a math teacher has said that to me. Either you don't understand how the math works, Paisley, or you're lying to me.
I'm the judge. I get to tell you to hold on.
Yes, sir.
The problem is that either one of two things has happened. Either you don't understand how the math works, or you're just lying to me. I don't want to say that you're. I know you're not lying to me. Yeah, I know you're not lying to me. But you made a reference to last year. I don't care about last year right this very second.
Mhm.
You just told me that so far for the year of 2024, you've made over $42,000. That's over $13,000 a month gross. You weren't making a lot of overtime last year. You're still making a lot of overtime, a bunch of it.
We had to get people set in position to get trained. So that's why I was up.
Okay, so here's the problem though, Mr. Price. I can't base your child support on what you might be earning in September, October, November of this year. I have to base it on what you have been making.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So there may come a point in time, and it may actually start on Monday, where all of your overtime drops. That might happen.
It already has.
Well, but not according to your paycheck stub.
Yeah.
Paycheck stub says you're still making a bunch of it.
Yeah.
And I have to base your child support on overtime. I have to. If you're making it, I gotta do it. And I can't stop the child support off your overtime just because you think, even though you have good information, that it's gonna stop. You're still earning it. I gotta set child support on. That's the law.
I thought the overtime wages, it only goes on disposal amounts.
Well, remember, the way I'm calculating your taxes, Mr. Price, you're going to get the overtime is taxed higher, right? We both know that.
Mm-hmm.
But that tax is automatically broken into, calculated into my stuff. Okay. I mean, I do it that way. I calculate the tax based on your overtime as well. I know you do pay higher taxes on overtime. All right. Mr. Price, is there anything else that you think I need to know about this case before I make a ruling?
On a different note,
Uh-huh.
we had about 3 times last year during the summertime when it was time for me to get my month in the summer, and went to go pick my son up, and 3 times he never was there. Nobody come to the.
See, this is unfortunate because this guy's already been paying based on $9,000 or whatever a month for his child support. I don't think he's significantly behind. And it's not that child support and access should be tied together, and they're not legally, but it is not good to withhold a child from another parent. It's not fair, Loud. It's not. You don't get overtime pay? That's right. That's right. YouTube Daddy is a fickle master. Hope you're doing well, Mikey. And I thought there was a cutoff as well. I really did. But, you know, we're going to hear it. Reminder, we have 3 cases today. This is just the first one. The next 2 are also quite good. So buckle up. We are enjoying our Thursday night. If you're just getting here, though, please make sure that you've clocked in for your shift. Hit the like button. And let us know what you think he does to make $13,000 a month.
Door.
All
So
right.
I got 3 different case numbers.
That's definitely a concern. Miss
And,
Lindbergh, that's not before me, but I'm going to ask, was there a period of time last summer where Mr. Price didn't get his contact rights with Kelvin?
One time, not
Okay,
not
one time or
several times.
3 times. Why didn't he get his contact rights with the child?
Because evidently there was a miscommunication because I keep contact with his sister and it was around Kelvin's birthday. And to my understanding, he was supposed to come get him on a Sunday. And
Mhm.
that's what I discussed with his sister.
Mhm.
And he come show up at the house with the cops on Saturday
Mhm.
while I'm supposed to be doing him a birthday party. But he sent me a text saying, I know you're going to do something for his birthday,
Mhm.
but I just come get him Sunday. So
Okay.
I don't know what he was trying to do.
All right. Okay. Well, here's the wonderful thing about the court order that y'all both have in place. And I'm not saying that anything did happen or didn't happen, but that court order is very specific on when Mr. Price is supposed to exercise his contact and visitation rights. If you guys are going to do something that's not in the court order, then there's not a whole lot of anything a judge is going to be able to do to help you, Mr. Price. I would always encourage you and Miss Lindbergh to work together on the visitation. But if that communication breaks down like it appears to have done in this case, then your only option is to fall back on the court order and follow the court order. Okay.
That's what we had originally fell back on because of the miscommunication
Right.
and the time. So, at which I was supposed to have him from
Sure.
July the 1st until the end of July. His
How
birthday July the 2nd. So
Right.
that's why she was trying to throw a party. And I was like, well, okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, if you're working with me.
Right.
Well, I ain't getting no text, missing no call. So
Right.
I'm going to go on what the court order says.
Anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor.
I may have already asked you this, Miss Lindbergh. Is there anything else, Ms. Limbrick, you think I need to know about this case before I make a ruling?
No, sir.
Mr. Price, is there anything else that you think I need to know about this case before I make a ruling?
No, sir.
I do appreciate y'all both being here today.
Loud, you froze it up, but I will find out for you right now. Oh, fuck. Creed frame. I caught the Creed frame. It's in Jefferson County.
Today. Court's going to find the court has jurisdiction. The court's going to find, based on the testimony of the parties, I mean, there's certainly been a material and substantial change of circumstance. Mr. Price is making significantly more money now than he was in 2013, which is over 11 years ago, since this court order was originally established. I'm going to confirm the child support arrears, to watch the date closely, Ms. Brown-Zito, and find that as of March the 29th of 2024, Mr. Price is behind in child support the amount of $523.23. I'm going to order that to be paid back at a rate of $50 a month each and every month till it's paid in full, beginning May 1st. Mr. To be really technical about the situation, you're probably not behind in child support. There's just a check that hadn't hit yet, but I'll confirm it. Just kind of watch your pay record online and make sure, but it'll catch itself up how you're paid. All right. But they did ask for it, and their pay record does show that you're still a one pay period behind, but it'll catch it up.
That was as of the first pay $50 beginning May 1st?
Yeah, May 1st.
Okay.
I'm going to confirm the child support findings according to Miss Vize, and I'm going to say it wrong no matter what I do, Miss Vize.
You okay, Judge? You are all right.
Just don't be offended. I'm going to confirm the
sir.
child support finding and set the child support as per the child support order that's currently in the file. However, the start date is going to be May the 1st of 2024. So confirm the court order with the new payment amount, but that's not going to start until May the 1st. Okay? Court cost October 31st of 2024. Ms. Brown-Zito, does that take care of all the issues before me today?
He's not going to tell us the fucking number. Judge, you cock block. Please don't do that. Good night, Donald.
In regard to this lawsuit?
I believe it does, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Limbrick, Mr. Price, what's going to happen now is Ms. Brown-Zito's office is going to change the court order that y'all have, the proposed order that y'all had tried to do. She's going to send it to me. If it matches what I ruled today, I'm going to sign it, get it back to them. Then they're going to make a copy of it, and they're going to send it to each of you, okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, look, you ain't got to be satisfied with my ruling. If either party is dissatisfied with my ruling, you have 3 business days with which to file notice of appeal with the district clerk's office in Jefferson County. Your appeal has to be specific. You have to state in your written appeal what part of my ruling you disagree with. You're also responsible for sending a copy of that written appeal to all the other non-appealing parties. All right, you'll both get a copy of the order once I sign it. I thank you for being here today. I thank you for your patience. Sometimes these hearings take
A what, Judge? A long time, he said. Sometimes they do take a long time, but that one is done. We have 2 more on the docket for today. Is MB here yet? Nothing is looking right today. I wanted to hear MB's take on this next case. Hi, Bev. Okay, yeah. So I'll wait just in case that she comes. No, I was wearing a sweater before I got changed, Ed. I got changed. Trying to fix my mood. Wrong one. Okay.
This course is going to call cause number 23 DCFM 0772. This is in the 279th District Court of Jefferson County, Texas. It's in the interest of Maverick Saunier. Miss Bethany Saunier, please raise your right hand.
Okay. Maverick Saunier is a pretty badass name, right? Also, yeah, she is at the hair salon getting her hair done right now. I couldn't believe it when I first saw it and realized this was what's happening. Judge doesn't seem to mind. I'll say that. Lisa B.
Ms. Saunier, do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Saunier. You can put your hand down. Ms. Brown-Zito, you handling this case for state?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Do you have any other witnesses besides Ms. Saunier?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court's going to find that Mr. Frederick Williams was personally served with citation in this case in Harris County, Texas, on January the 30th of 2024. That citation was returned on file with my court on February 2nd, 2024. He has not filed an answer nor otherwise made an appearance in this case. The court's going to take judicial notice of its own file. Contained within my file is a notice of hearing. That notice of hearing contained all the information that Mr. Williams needed to have participated in this hearing. He is not here, so this case may go forward by default. All right, Ms. Brown-Zito, you call your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, I would call Ms. Saunier. Will you please state your name?
Bethany Saunier.
And we are here today to talk about your child, Maverick Saunier. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Who is his father?
Frederick Modell Williams.
And at the time when you became pregnant with Maverick, were you having sexual relations with any other individual?
No, ma'am.
Damn, Miss Brown-Zito, like a little foreplay would be nice. Whoa, my phone's ringing. Do not be calling me right now. Miss Brown-Zito, foreplay a little bit, please, before you get into the next questions.
And have you ever told Mr. Williams that somebody else was the father?
No, ma'am.
Now, let me see if I can take care of this one issue right here. Now, you have another case with another child, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And on that case, was there a non-disclosure issue?
You mean calling loud? Good guesses, but neither. Neither. Fair, to be fair, my you guys know my mom and I don't, so it's not my mother. And when my dad called, I would answer it. I would be happy about it. So no, in fact, that was Carnival Cruises calling me, trying to sell me a fucking cruise, and I want to go on a cruise. I don't know why they do this. I didn't even sign up for anything. I was just at the website like a couple weeks ago, and now they're calling. Oh.
For not putting out your information privately in a case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You have somebody else that you are afraid of?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But you don't have any personal problems with Mr. Williams?
He have hit me one time when I first found out I was pregnant.
But other than that,
No, ma'am.
when did that happen?
I found out I was pregnant December 11th. It happened maybe a week before Christmas. I'm not sure the exact date.
Okay. But other than that, you don't have any problems with Mr. Williams?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Annette, that's so sweet. MB, you're here. Yay. But I'm going to try and pronounce Annette's last name here. Dubroil? Dubreuil? Dubreuil? It's not this case. I've saved it to the next case. Well, I want her opinion on all the cases, obviously, but specifically the next case, I am very intrigued to see your take on it. Everybody's take, but you'll laugh. And thank you, Annette, by the way. Dubreuil. 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 Hold on. Dubreuil. That's what I said, basically, but with a French accent. Dubreuil. 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 And Mikey's over here just like poaching people left, right, and center. I love it. Oh, you're always wanted. Oh, Dubreuil. Dubreuil. Get it? Get it? Bev, thank you. 5 months. Do. You know, I've been told I have a sassy and annoying voice sometimes, but also cute voice. Okay. MB, calling it.
Does he visit with Maverick?
No, ma'am.
When was the last time you saw Maverick?
When Maverick was 3 months old,
And Maverick is how old today?
a year and a half.
Okay. So it's been a little over a year since he's seen Maverick.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now, if he has visitation with Maverick, would you want those to be a stepped up kind of visitation so that he and Maverick could get used to each other?
Yes, ma'am, but I want it to be supervised.
Okay. So are you understanding that it could be supervised for a little while and then it would move up to something other than supervised?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so that's what you are wanting. Is that correct?
Oh, fuck. I knew you were going to say that. I knew he's going to say, like sexy. Thank you, Mikey. Supportive from the very start, as always. Thank you. Seriously, thank you. Seriously, thank you. You guys are killing me with the comments tonight. Damn it. I'm glad StreamYard or Streamlabs is back to handle some of the commands at least.
Yeah.
Okay. How long do you think that it would take with Maverick to be supervised before he would be comfortable with Mr. Williams?
I'm not sure because he really doesn't know him, so I really don't know.
And he's only a year?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you requesting back child support from Mr. Williams?
Yes, ma'am.
Since Maverick was born, has he given you any money to take care of for support of Maverick?
No, ma'am.
Have you and Mr. Williams lived together since Maverick was born?
No, ma'am.
Okay. How is Maverick covered for health insurance?
He's on Medicaid.
Does Mr. Williams have any other minor children that you know of?
Yes, ma'am. He has 6 other kids.
And is he, if you know, is he ordered to pay child support on any of those 6 children?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay. Your Honor, for the record, we show that there are 5 other dependents on order. that have orders? Do you live in Jefferson County?
Yes, ma'am.
And does Maverick live with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Does Mr. Williams live in Jefferson County, if you know?
No, ma'am.
He does not?
No, ma'am.
Okay. To your knowledge, does he live in Harris County?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Your Honor, I would pass the witness.
Hold on for me 1 second, Miss Sonia.
Okay.
We got the
Okay, give
home.
me a-
It don't burn. I'm good.
You guys, so what's happening right now at the salon is the girl goes, I heard her in the back. She goes, let me rinse that out. Let me rinse that out. And she says, it don't burn. It don't burn. So she's got bleach in her hair. And she's now left it in a while, apparently, because this call's been going for, 8 minutes. And look at Judge's face. He's loving it, laughing his ass off.
It don't burn. I'm good.
Miss Sonia,
Sheriff.
Did she turn her video off, Judge?
no,
No,
she just moved
I'm
her.
here.
Miss Sonia, did you ever tell Mr. Williams that he wasn't Maverick's dad?
No, sir.
Have you ever told Mr. Williams that somebody else might be Maverick's dad?
No, sir.
And have you and Maverick always lived in Jefferson County?
Yes, sir. Ever since he been born.
She got bleach in her eye, you guys. I didn't notice this before. She's got bleach in her eye. Oh my God. Oh no. And also, this is true, Bill. My sister is a hairdresser. I used to live with a different hairdresser. And you cannot, it's just like dentists. Okay. You can't lie to dentists and you can't lie to hairdressers. Okay. Now, about dentists, it's about meth use because you can die at the dentist if you use meth and then you go under anesthesia. But, and so like there's signs like that at dentist office, which is crazy. It's like, we don't care if you've used meth, but you will literally die. So you need to tell us. And then the hairdressing, your hair will fall out if you dye it too many times, for sure. Or fuck it up or some, lots of shit.
We've been in Jefferson County.
All right. Your relationship with Mr. Williams, did that take place in Houston or here?
In Houston.
Okay. So after your relationship was over with Mr. Williams, you moved to Jefferson County?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you seen or talked to Mr. Williams lately?
Will Mr. Williams be at Slap Fights 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, 4/20? I don't know. You'll have to tune in to find out. We are going to be doing, I'm laughing now that you're asking that. MB. Back to this slap fights. We're gonna do pre-gaming over here on this channel, and then we will go on over together. So if that's at 8 Eastern, which is 5 Pacific. Oh, so an afternoon party. 8 Eastern. That's so early. Okay. Yeah, we'll pregame early. It'll be like an afternoon thing. It'll be good. We'll be having fun. Love it. Fuckfest 2023. What is it passed already, Loud? What about 2024? Use what, Courtney? Someone who lost all her hair from leave-in conditioner? Okay. All right, Chuck. That's acceptable.
I talked to him on video last week because my son had to go to the emergency room. So I was trying to let him know. But that's the only time I talked to him since last week.
Did y'all talk about the hearing that was scheduled for this week?
No, sir. He should. I didn't know until yesterday. I got an email. So
Okay.
I'm not sure if he got a letter or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I just the other day got out of the shower, dried myself off, had my hair wrapped in a towel, and then when I took off the towel on my hair, noticed conditioner still in my hair. And I am now a 36-year-old lady, and I'm sort of ashamed to admit how often that happens. I think it's an ADD thing. I don't really know. But but I've definitely left conditioner in for a long time. I'm just gonna say that. Like not saturated maybe, but you know what I mean.
Miss Sonia, I'm going to do a phased in visitation schedule where he's got to get to know Maverick before he just has weekends. Okay.
Okay.
But just because I give him the visitation, Miss Sonia, doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to exercise it. Always remember, Miss Sonia, the first part of his visitation is going to be a certain number of supervised visits. If he never finishes the number of supervised visits that I give him, then he can't move to the unsupervised section. Okay.
Okay.
So what that means, Miss Sonia, is I'm going to say he.
Thanks, Chuck. But that would make me pretty young to have a 16-year-old.
He has to do 8 visits at each phase. Okay. That doesn't mean that if he just waits for 4 months, he misses that phase. He has to do 8 supervised visits before he gets to move to the next 8 unsupervised visits. Okay.
Okay.
Because I do my visitation schedules in a certain number of visits, not a certain number of weeks or months.
Okay.
And that way I ensure that the absent parent has to follow my court order to make sure that he gets to know Maverick first. Okay.
Yes, sir. Will he get a or serve? Like how will he know?
Well, they'll send him a copy of the order after I sign it.
Okay. I was just wondering.
All right. You have any other questions, Miss Sonia, before I make a ruling?
No, sir.
All right. Of course, going to find the court has jurisdiction. Of course, going to find that based on the testimony of Miss Sonia, I'm going to find that Mr. Frederick William is the biological and now the legal father of Maverick Sonia. Hearing no evidence in regards to the name change, the child's name will remain Sonia. I'm going to find that it is not in the party's best interest to name them as joint managed conservators. Miss Sonia will be the sole managing conservator of Maverick. Mr. Williams will be a possessory conservator. There will be no domicile restriction in this case. and I will grant the non-disclosure as to a third party. Mr. Williams will have visitation at any and all times mutually agreed to by the parties. If no mutual agreement, then he's going to have visits at a phased-in schedule with 8 visits at each phase. So that'll be 8 supervised visits for half a day, followed by 8 unsupervised visits for half a day, followed by 8 unsupervised visits for the day, followed by 8 one-night overnight unsupervised visits. So when he gets done with that last 4th phase, Ms. Sonia, he can have standard after that. So he's going to have to do
Okay.
30. He's going to have to do 32 phased-in visits. That's going to, if he does every single one of them, ma'am, it's going to take him about 1.5 years just to get those done. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Child support is going to, I'll order Miss Sonia to maintain the health insurance that she has on the child. Mr. Williams is going to be court ordered to pay child support as per a minimum wage presumption. I will give him credit for the 5 other dependents. So child support is $150 a month. Medical support is $15. That's $15. Retroactive child support, the amount of $3,000. That'll be paid back at a rate of $20 a month. Court cost by October 31st of 2024. That take care of all the issues in this case before me, Ms. Brown-Zito?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe it does.
Ms. Sonia, Ms. Brown-Zito's office is going to prepare an order for me. They're going to send it to me. If it matches what I said, I'm going to sign it and get it back to them. Then they're going to make a copy of it and send it to you and to Mr. Williams, okay?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions, Ms. Sonia?
No, sir.
All right. I hope your hair appointment comes out great.
Thank you.
You have a good day, man.
Wasn't that nice at the end of him to say that? I thought that he handled it really well. Okay, so two last things before we, no, don't get going yet. God damn it, what the fuck was I? Oh, that's what I was going to say. Okay, so we are now an hour deep into this live stream. So y'all be my friends at this point. I received an email today from a judge. I'm not going to talk about which judge it was yet because I haven't yet decided what to do about it. I have a feeling they're not going to watch this deep into this. But asking me to take down their video, which I thought was really interesting. First time that's ever happened to me. So I had a little bit of a heart attack earlier, but not really. And I thought of you, MB, because I was like, this judge don't want me in Texas. But this case, I found very interesting. This one right here. And Judge Webster starts, let's just first of all be clear. It's not Judge Webster. Judge Webster did not email me. I wish he did. Anyways, but he does something at the beginning of this hearing, MB, that I don't think I've ever seen him do, and I want your opinion on it. And it's weird because it's with Miss Brown-Zito, and we already know that he doesn't really like Miss Brown-Zito or the way that they work, but you know how it is. Anyways, let us continue. Basically the letter just said, my court is not allowed to be posted. Take it down before I report you to YouTube. So I didn't respond, but my response to that is no. Like, you can hold me in contempt if you want, but that's why, because if you're really a judge and you really were in the right, you would just send me a proper cease and desist letter, and then I would be forced to legally do it. But I don't think they have jurisdiction over me out here in Canada. It supposedly came from a judge, MB, But I'll send you a copy. I'll I have you on Discord, right? I'll forward you in Discord. Anyways, it might be fake, and I'm in Canada, exactly, right? What I felt like asking was actually, how long have you been subscribed, and what is your favorite video? Yeah, I will, MB. I will. And that's the thing. It wasn't exactly from a real email, but I do know that some of the courts really use like Gmail emails to set up their court channels on YouTube. Anyways, let's continue. This case, interesting on its own, nothing to do with that. So let's just, you'll see what I mean very quickly.
This court's going to call cause number 23 DCFM 0683. And this is in the 317th District Court of Jefferson County, Texas, in the interest of Summer Ann Williams. Miss Dion Williams, raise your right hand to tell me that your hand is in the air.
Yes.
Is your hand in the air, Miss Williams?
Yes, sir.
Miss Williams, do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Carnice Williams, please raise your right hand. Mr. Williams, do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, Bill, I've already sussed out where the email came from. I've checked the court phone numbers that was included in the signature. There was an email, and like, it's either a troll thing or it's an admin done, and but regardless, again, actually what I really want to do though is actually make like a really long a la Kit Boga form that has so many things for them to fill out, and make it sort of like a standard process. Like, thank you for contacting the Kitchen Court Chats YouTube channel. Your request is important to us. Please follow the following instructions carefully to ensure that we can take your request seriously. And then ask them to do like 50,000 things.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. Ms. Brownzito, with your permission, I'm going to ask some questions in this case.
Certainly, Your Honor.
All right. So back on February the 29th of 2024, I'm going to take judicial notice of my own file. That contains all the pleadings in this case, as well as the default order, as well as the citation return and the notice of hearing. All right. I'm going to say that I signed a default order in this case. It looks like on February the 29th of 2024. No, actually it was February the 27th of 2024 when it was signed. It wasn't filed for 2 days after that. All right. So in that time, Mr. Williams was defaulted. And then subsequent to that, it looks like on March the 25th of 2024.
And B's picked up on it right away. Isn't this very interesting? And did you hear how he talked to Brownzito and said, if you don't mind, I'm going to be asking the questions here. So this is basically a case where this gentleman's saying that he did not receive service, and there was a default entered against him. Oh, there you go. You guys are fucking amazing. Keep the ideas coming. I'm making all of it. It's going to be a part of the channel now. But he needs to appeal it properly, right? You can't just not appeal it. you have to appeal it properly. He's written, I guess, some sort of motion in the court of, what is that term that they say? I guess the court of standing jurisdiction, whatever. But like I said, I was talking to somebody else about this earlier, and I said, Judge Webster does not like it when you question him, and this is questioning him to the nth degree, saying you didn't do your job. A judge has plenary power jurisdiction. It means a certain period for time after a judgment is entered to overturn itself. Interesting. Would that be made upon a sua sponte motion or upon a motion from one of the litigants, though, MB? Like, could they literally make that motion from the bench themselves? There we go. Love it. Yes. Please provide your gas station rewards number. Last 3 digits only.
Mr. Williams filed a letter with the court.
Reading over the letter again, please stand by.
Hello?
1 second, Miss Williams.
I'm sorry. I thought I got cut off. I'm so sorry.
No, you're okay. Oh, wait a minute. Was it an in-person docket, Miss Brownzito?
I'm looking.
I show. Huh. I think it was.
That was our in-person date, was on February 23rd.
And that's when this hearing was. The order wasn't signed for a couple of days after that. And yeah, that changes things substantially. All right. Let me take a look at one more thing.
He found a loophole. He's back to humming.
All right, Mr. Williams. On March 25th of 2024, you filed a letter with the district clerk's office in Jefferson County. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And the only thing of any substance in the letter that you stated that you really have a grounds for your motion for new trial is that you said that you did not get notice of the hearing. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
The problem is, Mr. Williams, that you did not file an answer. In the state of Texas, Mr. Williams, unless you properly respond to a lawsuit that's been served on you, you're not entitled to notice. They don't have to send you anything telling you what the court date is or where you're supposed to appear. Now, if we had done this by Zoom, then yes, I would require the state of Texas to have sent you notice.
Okay.
But this case was done right here in my courtroom in Jefferson County, Beaumont, Texas. So they weren't required to send you any notice.
So you mean to tell me if I don't have a notice, I can't go to, if I don't have a notice to go to court, that I'm supposed to know to be there?
No, what I'm telling you is when you get served with a lawsuit in the state of Texas, you need to run to the courthouse and file an answer. And that way you have all the protections of anybody that makes an appearance in the case by filing your answer. Then the state is required to send you certain notices before they go forward with their hearings. You did
Yeah.
not file an answer in this case, and therefore you
Yeah.
were not entitled to any of those protections.
No, the reason why I'm saying, because I never received anything in reference to it. When I did receive it, it was almost 20 days later in the
Okay,
mail.
so you're telling me, Mr. Williams, that you were never even served with the lawsuit that got
No,
this
sir.
case started? All right,
No,
then
sir.
you have a different problem, Mr. Williams. You're going to need to hire an attorney and file what's known as a bill of review or a motion to set aside based on no service. Okay, I can't take that up because I looked at the file and the process server signed an affidavit, or a constable signed an affidavit that said they personally put those papers in your hand or attached them to your
No,
door.
sir. And that's what I'm stating.
Mr. Williams, it's okay. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm telling you, I found as the judge that they had proper service on you. So in order for you to attack that original judgment, Mr. Williams, you're going to have to hire an attorney and attack that judgment a different method than what you did here.
Okay, so, but in the meanwhile, of course, with me having that
Yes, sir.
issue,
Yes, sir. The order that I signed in February is the valid order in this case, and it's going to continue to roll until it's properly challenged or modified.
so then that's what I'm thinking I was supposed to be here for today, to ask the courts to actually see about that ruling, because also that ruling was not fair based upon,
I
because
understand, Mr. Williams, but what I just told you is that I've already made my ruling, and I do not have the authority to overturn a ruling that I made 2 months ago.
yeah, but what I'm saying is, when I received this was a month afterwards. Almost a month after, because you can look at the paperwork and the documents.
Mr. Williams, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I don't seem to think that I'm getting through to you.
No, I understand what you're saying.
I do not have the authority or the jurisdiction to grant you what you're asking for. You are going to have to file your own lawsuit, a full-blown lawsuit that tries to change or modify the order that I signed in February. I'm not going to do it today. I can't do it today. I don't have jurisdiction. I don't have a lawsuit in front of me that allows me to do that. Okay? My best advice to you, and the only advice I'm going to give you, is that you go out and seek legal counsel to see if there's something that an attorney can help you with. Otherwise, you're going to be rowing a boat up a really hard waterfall trying to get this thing moving in the direction you want it to.
So the things that were placed in that court docket,
in the court order, not in the docket,
in the court order, things that were placed in the court order, they were falsified.
Well, then you should have taken the steps that you needed to take, Mr. Williams, to protect yourself, to make sure that you were at that court date on that date. Okay. So, but if you didn't know about it, if you say that the service on you is not proper, then there is a method that you could take to try to attack that. But it's not with this one-page document that you filed in my court.
Well, that was the purpose.
Another process you're gonna have to take to try to get that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And then it's starting off with retroactive child support at $17,000. That's not.
Mr. Williams, I can't change.
First of all, Mr. Williams, you did get notice. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
You did get notice.
Y'all need to stop arguing with each other. This is my courtroom, and I'm just trying to tell you what the law is. Just because you don't like it, just because you don't like the outcome, doesn't change it. Okay. I am not going to change a court order that I signed in February based on a one-page document that was signed by Mr. Williams and filed in my court. That's not how the system works. So there's a whole set of laws out there that explains to people how it is that they can go about challenging a court order, and this ain't the method. So while I do understand what Mr. Williams is trying to accomplish, he's in the wrong car to make that happen. He's going to have to get a completely different vehicle to change it. Okay. All right. That's the ruling of the court. Mr. Williams, I really do wish you the best of luck, and I am really advising you to go out and seek legal counsel if you think that the order is not correct or that you were not properly served.
Do I need an order on this, Your Honor?
No.
Okay.
It's not what it is.
All right. I just wanted to make sure if there's anything I needed to do.
It's not.
That's literally where it stopped. I went back and checked because I got this video in 2 different formats. I recorded it, and then I managed to actually also download it earlier afterwards, but I got it in anyways. I found that case muy interesante. Okay, do we want to do one more thing? It's a bit of a sad case, but I'm willing to do one more. I think it's really, really interesting. But I think you guys would like it. Let me know. I'll pull it up. It is not a child support case. It is in Thurston County. It does deal with some mature subject matter, but nothing graphic. In fact, it's a lot more just legal wrangling in a way that we don't often see done on behalf of a defendant. So that's why I thought it would be interesting. So we will watch it because I want to anyways. William, that's a funny question. But you know what I wanted? Yeah, so end on a sad note. I should have ended on the hair salon one if I was smart. But I'm not. I love it. Cellulite, keep it coming. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to remove this from the studio. I'm going to stop the camera so that I don't creed frame ugly. It's like my biggest fear is like an ugly creed frame. Like I recognize I'm gonna creed frame, but at least not my fucking face, right?
They're working on it.
Do I have any where income is imputed for the father? Well, Savannah, we just did a case yesterday where they toyed with it. Yes, I lie. We have absolutely. I believe most of those cases have been in Michigan, possibly Georgia, as I'm trying to recall back to the literally now probably thousands of court hearings that I've watched over the last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, but for YouTube, like on high volume, I've seen it happen. I've seen, every court seems to be just slightly different. And that's why it's so difficult to know. Oh, William, here's the thing. When I used to, how I put myself into these hearings? Hold on. I know where it starts. I already got the timestamp. Here we go. Oh, no. Anyways. So, when I used to put myself into the things like this, hold on. Like, where will it be? We'll put me down here, but I'm sure it'll look up. Save that. Update it. Like, oh, that didn't even fit. What the fuck? Why is it like that? Anyways, you know what I mean. When I fit in the Zoom properly, it looks cool. Oh, there we go. When I fit in the Zoom properly, I wonder if somebody one day is going to steal a court case from me and have me in it accidentally. You know what I mean? Like just, like they'll think maybe they just grab a part that doesn't have me talking in it right away, but doing weird stuff. I've done this before where I've sat in the Zoom box here and then people come in and go, what the fuck is that lady doing? Does it have a fringe? Looks like it maybe. Loud. Have a good night. Yeah, clickbait, that's right. But really what I want is to have somebody else do it accidentally and then us catch it. Like them do it like, oh my God, you wouldn't believe what this lady did in court. And then it be me. Like, I want that to happen. Okay. Okay, so yeah, like I said, this is sort of sad. Oh, the fringe questions for my questionnaire. Oh, perfect question. Yes. Yes. Well, that's an interesting point, William, because we come to find that the case that is before us has a lot to do with the armed forces. Is armed forces a good catch-all term that's appropriate? Are people like, oh, we're not in the army, you can't call us the armed forces? Or I don't know how it works in America. But anyways, alarmed forces. So because in fact we yeah, let me just hit play. God damn it, military. That's the fucking word.
Charge doesn't qualify for restoration, so no objection to statutory dismissal. And one of these is post dispo. We just has to strike the motion. PR.
There we go. Sorry.
And they are bringing him next.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Stoa. And are you expecting to see the balance of your clients? Looks like Baca, Baldwin, DeGraff.
I do have notes from Mr. Pesdurk on DeGraff indicating he's expected to be seen. On Baldwin, I'll check during this next hearing.
Okay.
Your Honor, I had emailed that earlier to Candace, not to Brenda, but I just now sent it to her as well in case it's not in the court files.
Yeah, it is. I have a police report on that matter.
Fucking hit the wrong button. I'm gonna put it back. I just was pausing to say I really want to make it clear that we're not making fun of this situation. In fact, it's very serious. I did start this video wanting to make it about Thomas Russell lying in bed, right? Because as I scrolled through this, all I saw was Thomas Russell. Look at him lying there in bed. The light behind him. Here we have him in bed again. Now he's looking a little bit bored. But this case caught me, and you will probably understand why. Like I said, this is going to be much more in depth than we normally ever hear about for most defendants. Even in the ultra lenient state of Washington, allegedly.
And you're Mr. Rudnick?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good afternoon. And
Your Honor might remember Sergeant Rudnick from Monday.
yeah, if probable cause was established in that matter. Okay, and we're back here today. Why, Ms. Kamiri?
Your Honor, we're on for today for a conditions review because there was a new charge at a superior court.
Okay, subsequent to our Monday hearing. Well, that's what I have here. Oh, okay. Now I get it. I'm sorry. Let me take a moment.
Oh yeah, he takes a long moment to read this. We're going to skip it. Bye, Hector. Like I just skipped like 4 minutes. If I skip much more, it'll fuck it up, I'm sure, because I'll skip ahead. But Judge Buffering living up to his buffering name. Right? I know if I fucking hit the button though, there's no good way to go like a few seconds faster. StreamYard, are you listening? I bet there's a way to make a shortcut to do that. Yes, I'll look into it. Oh my God, Judge, you're kidding me. This is excruciating.
And it's Sergeant Rudnick. Do I remember that correctly?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. I reviewed the police report from what happened, looks like early this morning. Find probable cause and a charge of assault, 2nd degree. Prior bail was, I guess I released, that's right, Mr. Rudnick, on Monday. So what's the city's position now?
Well, it's a really tough one, Your Honor. I wish the court luck and find the best path here. The city did make a couple suggestions. Your Honor might remember having a pretty thorough conversation with Sergeant Rudnick on Monday. You know, self-harm was an issue then, and he assured the court that that wasn't it, that he just got out, that he was drinking too much and it got out of hand. And I think this newest incident suggests that maybe there is a pattern. There was also alcohol consumption during this newest event. I talked with Ms. Kamari earlier, just explaining the difficulty of the city's position here, that this requires a delicate touch. The city would suggest possibly high bail to ensure the community's safety. Things have escalated to the point where there is a pretty severe degree of danger. Alternatively, I think Ms. Kamari was going to reach out to the command and see if there were any options that could get them involved. The city'd be open to considering something like that with the addition of a scram and pretrial services monitoring, if the court thinks that's appropriate. But I understand things may be a little bit complicated by bail in Superior Court, but city should offer those two suggestions, I suppose, and hopefully Ms. Kamari has something to offer as well.
All right, thank you. Ms. Kamari.
Your Honor, we are requesting release on personal recognizance. He recently just had a Superior Court hearing where he was put on bail for $25,000. I've been in touch with his company commander, who is on Zoom right now, so Captain Taylor Mexdorf, to discuss the possibilities of the military's assistance in this matter. I think the best option for Mr. Rudnick is to receive mental health services to assist with the issues that he's currently.
This is the hearing. I don't know if we're going to be called to speak, but this is what they're going for.
All right.
Yeah, Captain Mexdorf, you are actually on audio right now. If you want to join us by video, that would be great, and then we can ask you questions.
Oh, sure. Let me see if I can turn this on. Okay, can you see me?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
So do you believe that ensuring that Sergeant Rudnick gets access to mental health resources is the most important thing at this point? And so we would request release on personal recognizance, and so that he can utilize the resources on base. And so I'll defer this time to Captain Mexdorf.
Okay.
So yes, I think our primary concern is his safety. I want to make sure that he can use those resources, but I also want him to be in a safe environment where he's not going to be able to harm himself in the near term until we can get to that point. I think we have a tentative plan in place that we can start working through that. But my kind of immediate concern is like from point of release to point of intake. So I guess I'd be interested to know when Sergeant Rudnick would be released, so we can have the appropriate time to put those things in place before that happens, to make sure we're doing right by him and right by the community as well.
Okay, and I would have the same question of you. You're his company commander?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So if he were released today, which would be between 6 and 7 this evening, so between 1800 and 1900 for you, would you be able to have somebody from first group down to pick him up and get him back to the barracks?
Yes.
You would be able to? Okay. And are you
Makes sense.
confident that there's sufficient control within the barracks environment to maintain Sergeant Rudnick's safety and from himself mostly?
We would have people on hand accompanying at all times, and we'd put in some controls as well to make sure that happens.
Okay. Sergeant Rudnick, looks like this happened early this morning. I saw you on Monday. So that left Tuesday to sort of follow through on some of the things that you and I spoke about on Monday. Did you call TDS? Did you reach out?
Oh, I did, and then I had an appointment with substance abuse for the Army.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
All right. And you give me your thoughts. Do you want me to keep you in jail? Do you want to go back to the barracks?
I definitely don't want to be in jail. I think I need to go to like an inpatient psychiatric thing because
Yeah, I understand that, but that unfortunately those things we can't just send you to one because they're full. Lots of people using those services, and it's
Lots of people using those services, but you can send people to jail. That's interesting, isn't it? This is a real bother for me. How much money we put into punishing people and how little we're willing to put into helping them before they do something criminal. Unfortunately, he's already done it. So he is active duty military, it appears. He's been charged in Superior Court with something obviously serious, which he got a $25,000 bond for. He has been charged with assault in this case. And then on Monday, he was arraigned on something as well. I'm assuming it was the Superior Court matter that this judge saw him on for Monday, and this was yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah. I believe this was yesterday. Also, I laugh because the judge is basically also so this judge used to be like a military judge, I think, and he runs the military court in this district. He's trying to drop that without saying it outright. And it's pretty cute because he's like really on their side. As I said, they're going to great lengths to ensure this man's safety and to help him, which is good.
The transition isn't quite as easy. So, Mr. Sharp, based on what I'm hearing from Captain Mexdorf.
Hey, sir, can I clarify something? So sorry,
Sure.
I just want to make it clear. Like our priority is that Sergeant Rudnick is safe right now, and if he is safer in jail than in the barracks for the time being, that may be a better option. We will do as much as we can on the here to make sure that he is safe and can get the care he needs. But ultimately, I don't have the ability to replicate that level of care and isolation as we can where he's at right now. So if you think that is a better place for him to support his immediate needs, as we get, as you said, lay on those resources that are scarce on the outside, that's something that I'm amenable to, and I don't want this to be seen as like we are trying to pull him out earlier than he needs to be, or I'm rambling. Sorry, I wasn't expecting to talk at this. To pull him out earlier, I guess is what I'm saying. I just want to make sure that he is safe, and that is the priority.
All right. Well, I appreciate the concern. Yeah. On the other hand, jail is not a therapeutic environment. So somebody who's suffering for mental health issues, the jail tends to exacerbate those rather than solve them. Barracks would probably be therapeutically better, but you know, we have to make sure that if Sergeant Rudnick is back in the barracks, he doesn't, you know, that there's somebody with him. Just isolation is the worst thing that, you know, can happen. And then access to weapons is the second worst thing. And the third worst thing is access to alcohol, which seems to be Sergeant Rudnick's issue here in this way of medicating himself.
Your Honor, if I may.
Ms. Kamari, and just so let me give context to First Sergeant and Captain Maxdorf. Ms. Kamari, who is currently counsel for Sergeant Rudnick, is a former JAG officer, so she understands Fort Lewis, even though she called it a base, and I would call it a post. But besides that, go ahead, Ms. Kamari.
Your Honor, as you know, the resources on post are, as far as mental health, are going to be more available for Sergeant Rudnick. And so ideally he could get set up, he can self-admit to there, and then the unit can also command direct him. And so it is our request that he be allowed to be released on this case, so that he can get those services, understanding that he has to post bail on a superior court matter.
Okay. And Mr. Sharp, do you have strong reaction to any of those proposals?
Well, I appreciate the captain's input there. One thing it wasn't quite clear to me, maybe it's because I was in a different branch. We would have called it a watch, a suicide watch. Is that what is being referred to with accompaniment, or is it something less formal and less rigorous?
And I think
what I'm assuming is that while in the barracks, he would have, it would essentially be a suicide watch until able to get seen by behavioral health. That's my understanding.
Yes, from our perspective, someone would have positive control at all times. So we would have a person there from the unit accompanying him.
Okay, thank you. And so, Your Honor, with that in mind, you know, it seems the community certainly has a serious stake in making sure Sergeant Rudnick is unable to harm himself. I think the Army has a greater stake, though, and they also have the logistics in place to be able to handle his needs probably a little better right now. So city wouldn't object to that. I just remind the court that it's complicated because his release is going to be contingent on him posting that bail in Superior Court. 25,000 is substantial. So that could affect the timing. I don't know how the Army could work around that. But the city wouldn't have an objection. Would suggest, though, that the scram device be ordered, as well as pretrial services for whenever things loosen up for him on post.
Right. Thank you.
Again, this is an extraordinary amount of time they are taking on this case. This is in the city of Lacey, which is in Thurston County, Washington State, I believe. And 7 military bases near and around Tacoma, Washington. Also, a Canadian military base. That's in my town, home of the Pacific Fleet. Actually, I'll write it in the chat if you guys can figure out how to say this name.
And Ms. Kamiri, do you have any contacts left in the TDS office?
I do, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. So I'd indicated, Sergeant Rudnick, when we spoke on Monday, that neither my daughter nor my son-in-law are at TDS any longer. So
Humble brag, Judge, about where his family worked. Okay, here we go. Board by 007. I'm going to say it now. The way that you say that, but everyone says it weird, but this you say Esquimalt, which is on the traditional and unceded territories of the Lekwungen speaking people. That's not a joke. That's actually true.
I don't have any contacts, but it sounds like Ms. Kamiri does. So she's heard our conversation, although I don't think you were at the hearing on Monday, correct?
I was not, no, Your Honor.
Yeah, I think that was Mr. Swenson. So Ms. Kamiri understands the importance of you getting some legal consultation besides being represented by civilian counsel on the physical control charge. So I feel much more confident now that will happen. So I'm going to authorize your release. But Ms. Kamiri, have you been in touch with Sergeant Rudnick's father?
No, Your Honor, not at this time.
Family seem very invested in trying to get him the help that we've all been talking about here, and they've expressed some frustration in their understanding of the situation that perhaps the Army wasn't doing enough for their son. I have no idea what the history is there, but I would hope that they are willing to assist now that we think everybody has their attention focused on Sergeant Rudnick and trying to get him some help here. So I don't know how to do this and make this.
Me too, Lisa. That sounds delicious. It is Esquimalt. I don't think there's local gin. It's Empress gin. That's what it is. Empress gin. Hold on, I might have a bottle.
It's contingent because I think it's going to be important for Sergeant Rudnick not to be released without somebody there to escort him to the barracks.
Your Honor, might I suggest the court imposing substantial bail, but including the caveat that he may be released to his command? I know Nisqually would honor that. That way, if he posted his bail on the felony case, he would be able to be released to his command on this case.
Yeah, I just, you think Nisqually would, so if I impose bail on this case, Nisqually would, if I impose bail, but say maybe released if the command shows up to spring him from jail? It's going to be somewhat unusual.
I've seen it work before, with maybe.
Hold on. All the purple gin is gone. Somebody drank all the purple gin. What the fuck? I didn't. I don't drink gin.
Released to treatment provider, I think in the past. I believe there's an other line on the
all right
section, and I can call it to the Nisqually jail and make sure they're aware of the court's intent there.
Okay, thank you. All right, well, there is substantial bail out of Superior Court. So the question I was having is whether Sergeant Rudnick's parents were intending to post that bail. And at this point, we don't have an answer to that question. And I don't want folks in first group having to come down to Nisqually and then find out that, wait, bail wasn't posted, so he's not going anywhere. So we're trying to prevent that from happening. So Ms. Kamiri, I'll ask if you can try to reach out to Sergeant Rudnick's folks, and either First Sergeant Captain Mexdorf, if you would provide, probably the best way to do it would be to provide Ms. Kamiri contact information so she can let you know whether she's been successful and whether we think that bail will be posted today for Sergeant Rudnick. Release time from Thurston County is typically between 1800 and 1900. So I would assume it wouldn't occur prior to that. So that would give you a little time to determine a plan. So if you would chat your contact information.
It's a $52 bottle of gin, by the way. That's purple. And it's made by the Empress Hotel downtown. Oh, come on. Are we joking? Oh, it's just not going to show any part of my phone. It's like, you bitch, please. Oh, look, you can almost see it. See the purpleness? It's called Empress 1908 Gin. Original indigo. I can't remember. It is purple.
Information to Ms. Kamiri so she has it and she can reach back out to the two of you and let you know what she finds out from the family.
That sounds good. We've actually been chatting throughout the afternoon, so I think she already has my contact information. And yeah, we're standing by. We're ready to pick them up and assume command responsibility at that point. So no issues there. It would be released to us.
Okay. What I am going to do then, I'm going to try to make it less complicated. I'm going to go ahead and release Sergeant Rudnick on this charge. I will add the additional condition, Sergeant Rudnick, that you, within 48 hours of release, obtain a SCRAM alcohol monitoring device. And I don't know to the extent that the Army uses that or not. It's an ankle device that he wears that measures skin perspiration to see if it has any alcohol content in it. And we use it for folks who otherwise might be held in custody to allow us to release them. And it's a 24/7 reporting, so we know if there's been any alcohol consumption. So I would direct that he have that on during this time, and it might make your job a little bit easier as well.
Yeah, too easy. We can reciprocate that.
Okay, and I also going to require him to report into pretrial services. He can do that via phone and let them know what his arrangements are at Fort Lewis as far as being restricted to barracks and those sorts of things, and they can work with him there. But those would be two overlays that I can add on to what the Army can offer as far as trying to make sure that he's moving in the right direction. And then the last thing I'll say, Captain Mexdorf and Top, is that I had spoken with Sergeant Rudnick about Veterans Court, which is a resolution of case option down here, and he is eligible for that as an active duty soldier. Most of the folks in Veterans Court, and I'm the judge for Veterans Court, are veterans not in active duty, but we actually did, and depending on how long you've been a first group, you may know that we actually had a active duty first group member in Veterans Court for 2 years and successfully returned them back to first group. So we can do some of the hard work to monitor and make sure that Sergeant Rudnick is involved in the treatment and taking medications and doing the things necessary. So just know that that's an option. It's going to be up to him and the prosecutor as to whether that actually happens, but I wanted to fill you both in, and if you are interested in it, you can contact the court. Alex Davidson, who's a reserve captain, is the staff manager for that, and we live stream it every Wednesday at 10:30 hours. So if you want to watch it to see what's going on there, to see how that fits in what you're doing, you're welcome to do that as well. It's on YouTube. So those are some things that are an option for Sergeant Rudnick, and frankly, given the difficulties I've seen from him in last week, he would be an excellent candidate for that. So I'll just lay that out there, but we don't have to make any decision now. Okay, Sergeant Rudnick, I am going to release you. Just understand, and I was reading a police report, and basically the officer said that they could hear you saying nobody cares. There's no, there's nothing else that you can do because nobody cares about you. Well, You have all kinds of people that care about you. Your folks obviously do. They were highly concerned. All of us here do. That's why we've had this long conversation trying to figure out, how best to work on this case and try to come up with a way that's therapeutically going to be best. Normally, I would just hold you in jail, but I'm not going to do that. And it's because people care. So you've got to reorient your thinking a little bit that way and start caring about yourself.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then, like I said, Alex Davidson will be in touch with you. And so Sergeant Mexdorf, and Ms. Kamiri, if you'll provide Sergeant Mexdorf, Captain Mexdorf, if you'll provide Captain Mexdorf's contact information to Alex when she's back, she's not in this week, and you'll hear from Alex Davidson, Captain Mexdorf. She is the program manager for Veterans Court, and like I said, she's a captain in the reserve, so she gets what's going on there. Anyway, she's going to meet with Sergeant Rudnick and evaluate eligibility for Veterans Court. And we may have to coordinate that with her coming up to post. We can probably make that happen.
Like, they are bending over backwards, and I'm not mad about it. I just wish that every case could be taken like this. I think that this is because a lot of, he has experience in this. It's obviously in his family. He's just like this whole thing is tailor-made for this guy, which is so unusual. We see cases day in and day out of people, even military people, like not usually active duty, but, veterans that don't get a lot of support. So this is nice to see. It's a good reminder as well. The judge put his own plug in there for his YouTube channel. Wednesdays, Veterans Court, come down and watch it on YouTube.
Okay. Any questions from chain of command?
No, I think we're all good here. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate your time and being able to log in today. Much appreciated. All right. And Sergeant Rudnick, we see you next year. Next court date is the 28th of May at 09:30. And that'll be an out of custody court date. So hopefully by then you're looking at the world in a much different way and kind of seeing reasons why you should care about yourself as much as other people care about you. And you are fully compliant with all the obligations. All right. Okay. We'll see you on the 28th of May.
What a very officially military way to say that. I hope that you learn to better care about yourself and are fully compliant with all of my rules. I appreciate you guys watching that. I know it was a little bit different somewhat than what we normally see, but I thought it was interesting to watch. I really hope that Sergeant Rudnick does well. I really do. I think that if he throws himself into the system that judge is offering, they will, he might do okay. He might do okay. And they've got him the best possible public defender, I guess. I don't know who that is. Like, I don't know if that was a hired attorney or what, but a former JAG officer. That's pretty cool. Anyways, okay, guys, I really appreciate each and every one of you from being here. Remember, when you get emails from judges, decide to send them back a long form. No. Anyways, remember, I love you. I'm proud of you. I will see you in the next video. Bye.